Hey guys, welcome back to another great game of CDH. I hope everyone is enjoying the summer. I know I'm enjoying reviewing and brewing with the new Lord of the Rings spoilers. And hopefully I'll be able to get a game in with some of the new cards. As a reminder, if you missed last week's episode, I have a giveaway running for some really sweet stuff, including a super spicy lifetime membership to all Monarch events. I'm told this will be one of two to ever exist, so check the link down below for more info and to participate. Also, I'll be at Command Fest Orlando this upcoming weekend, so if you're gonna come find me and let's get a game. I'll be bringing a few goodies as well, so I can't wait to meet any of you. Also, have you heard the news? Your favorite CDH YouTube channel has released some cool merch, and if you're interested in picking up some sweet new apparel, come check us out. Also, if you like what you see, consider joining our Patreon, as with your help, we can keep producing the videos you enjoy. And if you want to play with us, hop on our Discord. We have an ever-growing community that loves to talk MTG or whatever else strikes our fancy. And we would love to meet new people. Alright, block there, kill that. Oh, that is trample. Guess I'm just dead on board. First up is Loot's on Slicer. This is a mono-red Voltron stax list. It aims for a fast slicer to get an early hit in and really start the pain. It uses a combination of stax pieces to slow your opponents down and an equipment package to give you some needed card advantage. As with Slicer, even if your opponents control it, you control the equipment. So that handy Sword of Fire and Ice will deal 4 damage and draw you 2 cards. With Slicer having the ability to attack 4 times each go around, the game will definitely end quickly if no one has an answer. Next up is Rob playing Tevesh Kraum. This is a Grixis Ad Naus deck that uses both of its commanders as card draw engines to help get us the win. With Tevesh at the helm, you can utilize your creatures beyond their abilities. Not only is Tevesh itself an outlet, but other cards such as rituals or tutors become more synergistic with the game plan. This is a fast deck with multiple win cons and a lot of card advantage. In the third spot, we have Hidden piloting Shalia and Hallar. This is a Nio combo list that aims to assemble an infinite combo with your commander and either Heliod Suncrown, the Red Terror, or Dockside Emil. Additionally, you have powerful stax pieces and mana ramp in Naya to keep your opponents in check. And bringing up the rear, we have Fernando on Brago. And the king is back. This is Fernando's fully blinged out pet deck. It's an Azorius artifact control list. It uses Brago's ability to both reset mana rocks and gain card advantage using ETB effects. This is a slow and grindy deck that aims for the late game, utilizing an infinite combo with Strionic Resonator as a win con. But without further ado, let's get on to the gameplay. Loot starts off the game with a mountain and a Mox Diamond. He discards the Gemstone Caverns and ends his turn with a monkey. Rob has an untapped Luxury Suites and also has a turn 1 monkey.
What? I got legend rule.
Hitting cracks a Wooded Foothills for a Taiga, passing the turn as he goes searching. Fernando cracks a Polluted Delta for a Tundra. He shortcuts as he casts a Chrome Mox, imprinting a Fithable Thip and ending his turn with a Mystic Remora. Loots has another mountain and casts his commander's backside. He does give a card to Fernando and then heads to combat. He sends Ragavan at Fernando with Slicer heading at Rob. Both players take the hit with Fernando exiling a Sol Ring off the top. Loots also gains a treasure but uses it to cast the Stolen Sol Ring and gives another card to Fernando. The Sol Ring actually lets Loots cast a Dampening Sphere from his hand. He then passes the turn as the table groans.
Okay. Tap them right.
I like tapping like this, it looks better.
This is my Sol Ring. You tap my Sol Ring right. You want to tap yours shitty? That's fine. My Sol Ring taps properly.
Rob already got his Slicer as he plays a tap Storm-Carved Coast. He heads into combat and sends Slicer at Hidden, with Fernando taking another monkey hit. There are still no blockers, with Fernando exiling a Mana Drain off the top. And Rob on a second main casts a Sol Ring of his own. Fernando draws, with Hidden at Rob's end step Worldly Tutoring, with Fernando getting another draw.
I feel like I know what's coming here, and it rhymes with woof. Woof.
Oh no.
No?
I die by Slicer. Oof. Doesn't like you already have Slicer out, so.
Alright.
Hidden ends up searching out a dockside to put on top and heads to his turn. Hidden draws the dockside and gains Slicer. He plays a Savannah and uses it to cast a dockside. The Goblin resolves and gains him 7 treasures. Hidden then cracks 5 of them to cast his commander, Shalia and Hallar. He then ends his turn with combat, sending the robot at Fernando for 6. Fernando untaps, gains Slicer, and lets his fish go. Losing that soul ring really slowed him down, as he looks at his hand to figure out what he needs to do.
Once more, I am the solution.
You gonna wrath the board?
Don't do it, Fernando.
Nope. Don't. You even played that. If you even played that, I would have done something totally different. But now, I don't know what I gotta do. What I gotta do, my man. I want to.
Fernando plays a snow-covered island and a jeweled lotus, which gets cracked to help him cast his commander, Brago. Although I'm not sure how this is the solution, as he heads to combat and sends Slicer at Hidden for 6. But he has a super spicy play after damage happens, as Fernando channels an Aganjo to deal 4 damage to the robot.
I don't understand this. That was my fancy play.
Lutz untaps and still has the mana to recast Slicer's backside. He heads to combat and sends the robot and monkey at Rob for 5. Rob exiles a Dark Confidant and Lutz hands the turn over. Rob gets Slicer and plays an Exotic Orchard as land. He heads to combat and sends Ragavan at Lutz, while Slicer heads at Fernando. There are no blocks and Lutz exiles a mountain off the top. On Rob's second main, he casts his commander, Tevesh, and upticks the walker for 2 thralls, handing the turn over after that. Hey, Forbidden Orchard. I can make some deals.
That's awesome.
God, this is the problem. Everybody creates chumpers.
Hidden then casts a Heliod Sun Crown, although it's Rob to the rescue this time as he counterspells the god. With Hidden then heading to combat, he sends Shalai at Tevesh with Slicer swinging at Rob for some payback, although he has chumpers for days. Fernando gains Slicer and cracks a Scalding Tarn for a snow-covered island. He then for 1 casts an Esper Sentinel, following it up with a 1-mana Mox Opal. He's forced to combat as he sends Slicer at Rob, while Brago heads at Lutz. Rob chumps with another Thrall, and Fernando resets his commander. Lutz casts a Gold Vein Pick and equips his commander. He sends Ragavan at Rob, with Slicer going at Fernando. And this is where Hidden steps in to make a deal to tap his orchard and give the spirit to Rob to trade for the monkey. Rob accepts and blockers are had, with the spirit blocking the monkey and Fernando actually blocking Slicer with his commander Brago. Although before damage, Fernando casts an Essence Flux to blink his commander and blank Lutz's attack, with Lutz on his second main casting a Sardian Avenger. And at this point we remember the Esper Sentinel and Fernando draws. Rob untaps and gains Slicer. He heads to combat and sends Slicer at Fernando, who chumps with his Sentinel. He does get pinged by the Avenger, with Rob on his second main uptaking Tevesh to sacrifice the Ragavan to draw 2. It looks like he found a Rhystic Study to cast, as he then ends his turn with a tapped Blood Crypt. Hidden gains Slicer and plays a Gemstone Cavern as land. He then taps 4 for a Green Sun Zenith, where X equals 3. He gives a 1/1 to Fernando and gives a card to Rob off the Rhystic. He could have gone for the win, but thought Fernando was holding up counter magic, as he grabs a Manglehorn.
I got nothing.
I'm getting a Manglehorn.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good to do what? To move up a Slicer.
That isn't getting through anywhere?
It's gonna get through pretty soon.
It gets through on me right now.
Oh my god.
I can take some wide open.
It also stops him from comboing.
But you're not gonna swing the Slicer first?
No, that gives currency to you.
It also helps you.
Do what? I kill people infinitely. Like I don't care if they're at 100 or 1. The Manglehorn ETBs and destroys Slicer. And even better, it doesn't even trigger the Avenger. Hidden then ends his turn with combat and sends Shalai at Tevesh for another 3. Fernando cracks a Windswept Heath for a snow-covered plains. He casts a tap Lightning Greaves and equips it to his commander. Next is a tap Felwar Stone and then combat. He sends his Spirit at Tevesh and Brago at Lutz for 3. Tevesh is taken out, and even though Brago got through, Fernando really can't blink anything due to the Manglehorn. Lutz plays a Strip Mine and equips the pick to his Avenger. He sends the Avenger at Rob for 8 and a tapped treasure off the connect. Then, on his second main, he casts a tapped Rug of Smothering, with Lutz ending his turn stripping Hidden's Forbidden Orchard. Rob plays a Command Tower as land and then casts a Dockside Extortionist. He takes 1 from the rug and gains 11 tapped treasures, following that up with a massive Stormkiln Artist. Hidden takes 1 to cast a Yisan. He gives a card to Rob and then heads to combat, sending Shalai at Rob, since he's going to have quite the turn if he untaps. Fernando plays a Sea of Clouds as land and for 2 casts a tapped Talisman of Progress, taking 1 from the rug and paying for Ristic. Lutz heads straight to combat and sends his Avenger and the rug at Rob. The Avenger is a 22 first strike trampler, and Rob actually has to double chump to soak up 4 damage and survive at 1 life. Although the rug does put him dead if he tries to cast anything. Lutz does gain another tapped treasure bow. Rob untaps and just has the discards. Hidden untaps and doesn't have much either, as he swings Shalai at Lutz for 3, with him ending his turn casting a Lotus Petal, giving another card to Rob. Fernando starts off with combat. He sees Rob is powering up Lutz's Avenger and needs to remove him. He sends the Spirit at Rob, with Brago going at Lutz. There are no blocks and Rob is taken out, showing he had the win in hand with protection.
I had historical combo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Can you pass Fernando?
On Fernando's second main, he casts a Dranith Magistrate, with Lutz at his end step bolting the Magistrate and Fernando protecting it with a Swan Song. And the players then remember the rug and take their lumps. Lutz casts a tap Lightning Greaves and takes 1 from the rug. He equips the rug and then realizes he probably wants to attack his Avenger more and moves to re-equip. Although Hidden does respond by activating Yisan to go searching for a 1-drop. Although he doesn't think he has anything important, as he just grabs a Llanowar Elves. The equip is good, and Lutz then swings his Avenger at Hidden for 9. Hidden now thinks it's time, as for 3 he casts an Eldritch Evolution, sacrificing his Dockside to grab a 4-drop. 3 mana for an Eldritch Evolution, sacking my Dockside.
But you focus me.
No, I didn't focus you. I tried to fucking
Evolution?
Yep.
Yeah, I got
Anything?
take 1.
I'll take 1.
God damn it, Fernando!
I won't try to kill my Dranith then. You could have also stopped me with your lightning bolt. You killed her instead of my Dranith. And then she cannot cast your commander, and then you're equal.
Why would you stop my guy from coming out?
Because it's gonna kill me. I have one guy in my hand. I can't do anything about it.
Gonna kill you in multiple turns.
Not true. It's gonna kill me
Jesus.
super fast because I have one card in my hand that I can't even play.
Well, now we lost because you did
No, you lost because you wanted to kill this. You had a lightning bolt. You had an answer to. So it's not on me. It's on both. You also had an answer. You killed that with your lightning bolt.
The Red Terror.
And I could have actually protected you with my Kyra spell instead.
Go to combat.
I got nothing. I see. Yeah, look, comes in time and hits me for 1. That's my card in my hand.
Cool. I'll swing at you.
Sure. I got no flyers.
Come on, Fernando.
I got no
Red Sword
flyers.
deals damage. You get a counter, deal other
got
damage. Bam.
Blew this game.
Don't say that. That's
to
not
be
true.
fair, I think I could have comboed off like much faster. I just totally forgot about the Red Terror. I had the Eldritch Evolution in my hand since the start. Like I could have.
Another game where Slicer just gets hyper-targeted.
I would not say he got hyper targeted. I would say
He wants us to go to 19 health and then kill him.
yes.
That's what he wants. I'm not gonna do that because it needs so much pressure. I'm gonna kill it the moment I can. And you've argued this to me with Najila multiple times. I'm right.
And before I get into the game review, I do want to thank a special Patreon member, LF Cruz, for his support of the channel. Game review. Well, Hidden managed to survive pretty well. I think it was actually a little fortunate that his win con was countered early. It put him out of contention in the eyes of the other players, and let him survive, barely even taking a hit from Slicer, and letting the other players spend their answers on each other and letting him sneak the win. Unlike Rob, who had the win if he didn't draw all that attention with his dockside. His hand was stacked, but when you're getting attacked for 21, he was locked out of actually winning. As for Fernando, it was unfortunate that he didn't find anything that gave him card draw. He did a really good job of answering the slicer, but having spent all of his answers, he was left basically empty-handed. But thanks to everyone that played. And as a reminder, I am a community ambassador for Monarch Media. And if you haven't heard, they're partnering up with LotusCon to put on a really cool CEDH tournament for later in this year. I'm stoked as I know this event is going to be sweet. And if you're interested in finding out more, check the links down below. And thanks for making it to the end of the video. I'll catch you guys later, and remember, never give up, even if you're dead on board.